MPH here with you today, and I want to talk about something that's very important, and that is the health of your eyes, and that you should not forget about your eye vitamins. So, if you're taking one of our comprehensive multivitamins, such as our core multi, the men's multi, or the women's multi, great, you've got coverage because these multivitamins include a comprehensive blend of nutrients and key antioxidants that really support overall eye health. This is something that we always want to make sure that we're proactive upon and not reactive. You don't want to wait until something is wrong with your eyes before you start to look into this. No pun intended there. But this is the Healthy Vision Month, which is brought to us by the National Eye Institute. So, this is kind of the month for awareness for visual health and for different eye diseases. Most people have heard of things like age related macular degeneration, for example, or glaucoma or cataracts. And we know that our diet can certainly play a role into this. We know that certain chronic conditions certainly can exacerbate the degradation of our vision health. So we can look at things like hypertension, we can look at diabetes. So we know that these things certainly can negatively have an impact on our visual health as we get older. But one thing that we definitely want to make sure that we're doing is that we are taking the appropriate vitamins and minerals and antioxidants to really enhance our vision as we get older. So we want to make sure that we are incorporating things that help us to fend off blue light. For example, we know that when we look at UV radiation coming from the sun, that's why most people put on sunglasses when they go outside, and ideally polarized sunglasses to try and protect the eye itself from the harmful UV rays. But oftentimes people are unaware of the fact that your light emitting devices, like your cell phone, like your computers, actually generate more blue light than even the sun does. So the damaging effects long term from your little devices that you're using generally a good portion of your day can be incredibly harmful to your eyes. So you want to make sure that you have these nutrients on board, including things like lutein, for example. We know lutein is very, very beneficial. This is a carotenoid. We can look at other carotenoids such as zeaxanthin. When we think about carotenoids, we think about vitamin A, for example. And there was always the old wives' tale of eat your carrots because it's good for your eyes. Well, certainly there is truth to that because we know that the beta carotene that is in those orange colored vegetables, such as carrots, really are packed with vitamin C as well as beta carotene. So these carotenoids, we know that carotenoids make up a huge proponent of what actually supports our eyes. And so if we are not getting adequate carotenoids from our foods, which many people are not, because most people are not getting enough fruits and vegetables, then this can actually be a negative thing for the health of your eyes. So you can look at a formulation such as the Macula Advanced. This is a awesome product in terms of what it's actually giving you for the support of your eyes. So it has that lutein, it has that zeaxanthin, it has your vitamin A, it has vitamin C. We know vitamin C is very important for our retinal cells. It has NAC, so N-acetylcysteine, also very, very important because NAC helps generate glutathione. The more glutathione, the more we can fend off oxidative stress. So this is all packed into a single capsule when you're utilizing the Macula Advanced. It also has zinc in it. We know zinc is very important for eye health, and it has some really cool fruit extracts like caseous fruit extract. And why is that important? Because that actually yields us something known as cyanidin 3 glycoside. And that is key because it helps to support the rhodopsin in our eyes. And rhodopsin is important for visual acuity in low light environments. So, say, for example, driving at night. You may find that as you get older, your vision isn't as quite as good as it once was, maybe when you were a teenager. So, driving in low light environments at dark or as it's just starting to get dark, maybe you're not as acute as you once used to be. So having these fruit extracts actually can be very beneficial. We can look at bilberry, um, which we actually have a bilberry product as a standalone. So for many people, if you this is something that you're starting to notice, I always say take some bilberry. They used to talk about this back in World War II that they used to give this to British fighter pilots, not as the extract, but they used to put bilberry jam on toast for them. And they said we think this is going to help you with seeing better at night. And there's actually something to it because we know that those anthocyanidins that are coming from the bilberry extract are packed with this cyanidin 3 glycoside, this active constituent that really helps to support rhodopsin. So we know that this is Vision Month, and we know that there are things that we need to be doing. So, just as a basic, we want to make sure that we are fending off blue light, fending off oxidative stress, and of course, if there is underlying issues such as high blood pressure, such as diabetes, we definitely want to make sure that we are supporting the vascular system, so the blood flow to the eyes, as well as making sure that we're not having excess glycation that can damage the nerves, as well as create that clouding effect on the eye itself, on the lens, hence cataracts. So we always want to make sure that we have nutrients on board that target glycation. So we can look at something like Nerve HX with benphthiamine. We can look at alpha lipoic acid. We know that these are very, very beneficial when it comes to targeting glycation. We don't want excess advanced glycation end products circling about the body and attaching to things and creating havoc. So this is why we want to make sure that we never forget about the importance of eye vitamins. So when you're utilizing something like Macula Advanced HX, or if you're using our bilberry extract, or like I said, if you're using one of our comprehensive multivitamins, you're going to be giving yourself that added support that your eyes truly, truly desperately need. And of course, make sure that you are trying to get those carotenoids in your diet. Start to incorporate in those bright colored, naturally bright colored, not pumped with fake color, bright colored fruits and vegetables. So we know that those proanthocyanidins are really, really beneficial. We know that the carotenoids, we know vitamin C, all of these are very, very helpful and supportive to our eye health. And when we're looking at issues with eye pressure, obviously we want to make sure that we have things on board that are supporting the vascular system. So this is when we look at things such as grapeseed and resveratrol. So all of these things combined can lead you down the path to healthy eyes throughout your life, but you have to be proactive and not reactive. So I will be back with you in a few more days to talk about more wonderful formulations available at InVite Health. Thank you.